Hey y'all, how's everybody doing? Excuse me. I hope everybody is well and staying safe and trying to be productive and trying not to go crazy. I actually went back to work last week we're rotating, so I'm doing Tuesdays and Thursdays from 9 to 4, which is not too bad. I'm pretty isolated in my office and not many people are there at all, so we'll see how it goes. UNC Chapel Hill got their kids back to school, and I think they made it like 8 days, and they shut down again because they had an outbreak, some cluster viruses. So I just heard that I think they closed back down again to everybody doing virtual stuff. So we'll see how long it lasts. But anyway, so I had someone, I'm working on the Christmas journal, so I'm trying to kind of take you along on some of my processes as I'm working on these. And somebody asked me how to tie buttons to the signatures, and there's 2 ways to do that. So you can run them on your thread as you're binding it. So like when you come through and bind your signature, you put the button on the thread and bind it in, or you can do it, there's a little bit easier way to do it. Well, either way is really not too difficult, but it is a little bit harder to do it when you're sewing your signatures in, but it definitely can be done. I've done it both ways. And Jessica Rapp was the one who sort of turned me on to the idea of just tying it in after you've bound your journal. And somebody asked me, one of my subbies, and I apologize, I didn't go look up your name before I turned the camera on to do this today, so I apologize for that. But one of my subbies asked if I would show how I tie buttons onto the spine. So what I do is I kind of get my buttons out. I just wanted to just kind of pull out a variety of, I have a lot of buttons. It's insane. I'm insane, I know, but I love buttons. And I use them in all of my projects. If you know me and you've seen any of my journals at all, I use buttons in everything. There's going to be a button somewhere, and usually more than one. So I just love them. And so I just pulled out a variety of ones to kind of show you what I'm thinking about when I do this. Is, first of all, it's much easier to tie a button on that just has the two holes in it, okay? Now you can use the 4, here's a bigger one, I'm gonna show you. So you can use the 4 holes, okay? But it's a little more challenging. It is a little more challenging to do that. So when I'm picking out buttons, I really do try to think about that. Now it can be done, and I have done it, but it's easier. And especially if you're going to bind in as you're binding the journal, if you try to do the 4-hole buttons, it is more challenging to get that button on there tight, and for your signature to stay tight, and for it not to move around. But it can be done. So, but just to kind of, so that's one tip. And then another thing that I like to try to do, now I've just got these, I've pulled these, all right, what did I just do with that other white button? I just stuck it back in here, didn't I? I had 3 of them pulled out. Yeah, here we go. So I've been working on these journals, and they are pretty much complete. I have a few more tags to add in them, and then I've added these little charms on these. So I took a jingle bell and a little stocking and some other little things, and then I made one little bead that says joy. But what I'm gonna do, so I'm opening this up to the middle, and I'm turning it over so it's bending in. This is a very flexible, it's gonna be a very fun, easy to use journal. So what I try to do is try to get an idea. So it's gonna be kind of hard. Try to get an idea of where I want my buttons to be, like color-wise, and how many do I want? Do I want to put them on all the signatures? This case, probably not. I'm probably gonna kind of alternate and then figure out my colors, like where do I want, you know, a red or a green. And then I've just spread these out so you didn't have to hear me really dig through the buttons. So here's a kind of cool green one. And then I might not use all the white ones. I'm not gonna put a ton of them on here. I just want to kind of a few of these on here. I'm not really liking that one. Really didn't show up very well. So maybe a white one. And this is what I do. I just kind of play around, you know, with the placement. And I think I'm gonna go back to where I had that one over here. So I'm gonna kind of do this to figure out where I want. I think I want to put one more right here. So there's blue in here. I may do. See, now that's the 4. I really like that one, but that's got the 4 holes in it. So I really need to find me one. So this is kind of a blue-green. That would work because it really kind of goes with more of the muted sort of colors. So let's say that's where I want them, okay? All right, so I kind of planned that out first. So now I'm going to try to remember where I had each one of them. That's the challenging part. Sometimes I'll just take a picture, but so I had this white one up here. So now I'm going to take, this is a wax linen thread. Can you see this? And I'm not sure of the actual millimeter on it. I will link the package of this that I purchased from Amazon. I'll put that in the description box so you can see. This particular package comes with a black and an off-white and a dark brown, which is currently not at my fingertips, but it comes 3 in a pack. And I really like this thread. It's not too thick and it's not too thin. So that's what I use to bind the journal. So I'll just cut. Now, some people are going to say that I can tend to be wasteful with some of this because when I cut my string, I have big fingers. So I don't like having to fidget with a small piece, okay? But I try to, when I buy my journals, save the leftover pieces. So you really don't need, but a couple of inches, okay? So that's probably about 3 inches. And if you have smaller fingers and you can do more fiddly stuff, you really don't need that. Now, you can use a needle. This is what I use to bind my journals. I cannot use a small needle. It's too aggravating to me. And I tend to use, when you're using 8 to 10 pages in a signature, you really need, in my personal opinion, you need something bigger than just a needle that's this size, because you're just gonna work yourself to death to get through the pages and stuff. So this is like an embroidery needle. And it does not have a big head on it, but it's big enough to put my thread through. So you can do this one of 2 ways. And this is usually what I do. I'll take this and I just pull this through, okay? I'm gonna go up underneath that and I'm gonna pull that piece. I'm gonna pull that piece through. Can you see that? And then I'm gonna take this side and go in that side of the button, and I'm gonna take this side and go in that side of the button, and then I'm gonna tie this in a knot, and I'm gonna tie it as tight as I can get it without getting too crazy. I'm gonna tie that twice into a knot. Okay, and then you can still adjust these. They kind of slide up and down. That's one thing I do like, but once you put it on that wax linen thread, it doesn't move a ton. So now I think I had my blue one here, right? I think that's where I had the blue one. So this is a piece. So this is a piece I had left over. Now you can fiddle around and just push that up underneath there. But for me, it's easier just to put this on the needle and then just pull it through. It takes less time. It's less time and not as fiddly. So I'm gonna do the same thing here. And you know, this is one of those things that if you get them on here and you don't like where they are, you can very carefully snip that knot and, you know, pull them off and change it. And I think I had the red one. Let's see, where did I have these? I have this white one over here. See, here's my problem. I don't remember where I had them. No, it was up here. I had that one there, didn't I? And the green over here. And the red up here. Maybe like that, or like that, I think. Well, as long as you like it, it doesn't matter. So I'm gonna try to leave those there. So now I'm gonna cut another piece. I hope you guys can really see what I'm doing. I hope this is helpful. It's really pretty simple. So I'm almost finished with these two. I've got, like I said, I've got a few more of the 4x6 pockets I want to put tags or journaling spots in. And then these will be done. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to do that like that. I'm gonna have to bend the book up. And they'll be done, and then the snowmen, I'll show you those in a minute. I'm almost done with those two. I'm still working on a few tags and journaling spots, and they'll be done. And then I'm gonna move on to, I'm gonna try to later today do the little golden book video, and get that up sometime this week. And the collage. Now I'm gonna cut these. I'm gonna cut some of these strings back when I'm done. I had that one there. And you don't have to get, like, you don't have to drag all your buttons out like I did. I just have this big thing over here of them, and where I sorted my colored buttons. Well, some of them, not all of them, but a good portion of them. And it makes it easier when I need colored buttons to find stuff. I've been doing a lot of organizing since I've been working remote from home, so I used to just have all my buttons in one big bin together, and I collected so many that got a little bit crazy. So I had to split them up in different places. Now, this button is really intended to go this way. You see how it's got like the ridge on it like that? I'm gonna put it this way. And the wax linen thread makes it much easier to do this. If you're using anything, I mean, you can use embroidery, whatever you use to bind your journals. But I find for me, the wax linen thread is the easiest to use and get through the buttonholes and stuff. because it doesn't separate on you like baker's twine or stuff like that does. So I think I had the green. I had this green here. This is exciting, right? I hope it's helpful to some of you that have never done this. So then I'm gonna come back in and I'm gonna cut these. Let's see, I've got this piece right here. I probably could use that if I'm just gonna tie. If I'm just gonna tie through a button, you know, to decorate it, I'll save these little pieces, okay? But the tiny ones, you know, so I cut this off like this. Yeah, those are really, that, you know, you can save them because they will go through a button if you're just tying through one to glue it onto something. Chances are, if I was to use them soon, I would use them. If not, they'll probably end up in the trash, because if you saw the scraps and everything else I saved, you'd be like, yeah, I get it. So, I really didn't want all the white ones. I know I want this red one here. I didn't really want all the white ones like that. I'll put that one down there. So it's just a matter of preference how you want to do them. And you could just do little tiny ones. You know, you could do several on each. If you wanted to just use the small ones, you can, you know, do your color however you want, your colors however you want to do them. It's another one of those things that the possibilities are, you know, sort of endless, how you want to do your buttons and what kind of buttons you have and that sort of thing. And that's the wrong, let's see. It also helps if your eyes are better than mine are. Even with my glasses on, I struggle sometimes. I have been working hard on these for the last couple weeks. Especially the last week, I've really been trying to get a lot of this done, and but I keep adding stuff and adding stuff and adding stuff. So these are gonna be chunky, and they're gonna have a lot of little goodies that come with them, because I do have quite a bit of Christmas stuff. I did, like I told y'all in one of the last videos, I did buy another Christmas paper pad, but that was about it. So I'm not, let's see. And I always try to do like an odd number. So I'll slide this one down, that one down. I do still like that white button there. But yeah, I try to do an odd number, and that's a matter of preference too. And I try to mix like a couple of smaller with a couple of bigger buttons. You can even use, like, if you want sort of like a dangly look, like you can even use these shank buttons, you know, and then when you put it on there, it'll be kind of wobbly, but it's still kind of cool. I've seen people do that. Like, I love this button right here, but this particular button would probably go on a more vintagey, like it's got like a flower engraved and it's like a shell. Like one of those shell buttons. It's really pretty, but it would probably look prettier on a vintage book. But even this one, like, I could put that one on there. But if I was gonna do the shank, I would probably do several shank buttons, you know, and then alternate. Like, I wouldn't just put one random one on there. I would do a mix of them, but you can use those too. And that's a different look, and it's really pretty. I have seen it done. And I think I said that already. But, yeah, this is just, like I said, another one of those things that whatever you like and whatever you have, it's all a matter of preference. Okay, now this one's starting to... And I'll probably make this look harder than what it is because of my big fingers. I do struggle with these things like this sometimes. So now I have, let's see. I try to get them like alternating where they're not, yeah, like right up to next to one another. Okay, so now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 buttons on the spine, and I don't want to overdo it. And I can push them closer together, you know. And you can cut these, you know, you can cut your strings closer. You don't have to be that. I kind of like that look. Let's see. So now you got your buttons, and then you got this little charm. So like I said, since I've got this little charm here, I didn't really want to overdo it on the buttons. But this is also meant to be, each one of these pieces can be used another way. So I just have a little binder ring and then 2 bulb pins, you know, holding these things on, and another little jump ring down here. So these little tags can be used separate. You know, you can take that stuff off and use it somewhere else in your journal. This is tied. So this is tied onto here, onto this binder ring. So you probably want to leave that there. If you decide to take that off, be very careful, or leave it on this ring. But the other pieces can definitely be used somewhere else. I just liked it. I have all these little pieces that I thought would be fun. These are actually vintage. These are vintage jingle bells. I can't remember where I got those. I can't remember if somebody sent me those or if I found them at one of my stores. Anyway, so there's your buttons. There's your buttons tied on the spine. And then here's this little guy. Oh, and I wanted to show you. So I wanted to show you these little paper clips. So this was the, if you remember me talking about Paper Outpost, making these little paper clips with the little beads and stuff on them. I was inspired by her, and this is a lot of fun. You should go check out her video, and I'll link that down below too, where you just tie embroidery thread or the wax linen thread or whatever, and then you tie your beads or jingle bells or whatever on there. Now, if she did regular paper clips, I put mine on, did some on these type of clips. And then I made a bunch. There's one in here too. So this one. So in this book, there's this one. Sorry about that. I probably just made you really dizzy. There's this one with the red and the little beads and the little jingle bell. Okay, on this book. Anyway, so here are, oh, there's another white book. So here are some of the ones that I made. So this is the regular paper clip. Now she did paper clips this size and then some smaller ones. I did the little twisty things on my bigger paper clips, and then I used a blue wax linen thread and put beads on them on that one. And then I used some, I've got them all hooked up, hold on. Then this has got the brown wax linen thread and beads. I did try some hemp twine, and this was a little thicker, and a little bit harder to get this to stay. Like I need to glue this back down, but it does work. But yeah, next time if I do some more of these, I probably wouldn't use as many. I'd use half of the pieces of the thread. And then here's some other ones. But these were just, I've had them in a bag, so they're all stuck together now. These are just a lot of fun. They're just really a lot of fun to make. And you can use any kind of paper clip. Can't really see them on this black. You can really use just about anything. So I just made a bunch of them. For other journals too. I did several in Christmas, you know, like Christmas colors. You can use the smaller paper clips, whatever kind of, you know, twine or thread or whatever you have. You can use all kinds of stuff with those, but they were a lot of fun. So y'all should go check out her video and watch her make those and see her ideas. And you can use anything, you know, you can make them in with any kind of beads, any colors, whatever you're working on, whatever you're trying to make, you know, to coordinate with whatever kind of journal you're making. For me, I think these would go in any, you know, these particular ones would go in any kind of journal, really, you know. So anyhow, love you guys. I'll see you soon. I'll be back with the little golden book video, and then the next one will be the collage. Okay, see you soon. Take care. Love you. Bye.